All right, let's be real. Have you ever been on a project that just feels like it's completely spiraling into chaos? Yeah, you are definitely not alone. So today, we're going to dive into a field guide. Think of it as a toolkit for turning those all-too-common project roadblocks into real opportunities for success. And we'll start with a feeling that, well, I'm sure a lot of us know.
That feeling of being caught in the middle, trying to translate between completely different worlds. It's universal. It doesn't matter if you're a business analyst, a project manager, a team lead, you're usually the one stuck trying to make sense of it all. But here's the good news, and it's a big one. Anyone can learn the skills to be that amazing translator, that guide who pulls it all together.
So our goal today is simple. We're going to give you a really practical toolkit to deal with 3 of the most common hurdles you'll face on any project. And we're going to start with the one that, let's face it, trips up pretty much everyone.
And that first challenge is the shifting blueprint. Oh man, this is probably the most classic project headache of all time, right? Unclear and constantly changing requirements. You think you have a solid plan, and then bam, the ground just shifts right out from under you. It is a perfect recipe for frustration and a whole lot of wasted effort.
So why does this even happen? I mean, why does that blueprint keep shifting? Well, it usually boils down to a few core things. Maybe the project starts with just a vague, fuzzy idea. Or the scoop, what's in and what's out, is totally unclear. Or maybe there's just no real process for handling new requests. I mean, does any of this sound familiar? I'm guessing it does.
Okay, so how do you fight back? How do you build a fortress against this kind of chaos? Well, here are 4 steps. First, define that scope clearly and early. Lock down what's in and what's out. And look, this isn't about being restrictive, it's about creating focus. Second, you've got to become a detective. Ask those probing why questions. Third, use visual models. Make those abstract ideas concrete with things like wireframes or diagrams. And finally, you absolutely need a change control process. This is not about bureaucracy. Think of it as a filter for genius, making sure only the most valuable changes actually make it through.
And out of all those steps, this question is your secret weapon. But what is the real business problem we're trying to solve? Seriously, this question is a game changer. It elevates you from just being an order taker to a true strategic partner. So don't just accept requests at face value. When you ask why, and maybe ask it again, you dig past the surface level symptoms and get to the real, juicy problem you're actually there to solve.
All right, let's move on to our second big challenge, the disconnected team. This is all about stakeholder misalignment and, that lack of engagement. This is when getting everyone on the same page feels, well, it feels like you're trying to herd cats, right?
So why does a team get so disconnected? What's the psychology here? A lot of the time, it's because different departments have conflicting priorities. They're all pulling in different directions. Or, and this is a big one, it happens when people just feel like their input, their expertise, isn't being valued. They feel ignored.
So how in the world do you get this group all rowing in the same direction? Well, it's not magic, it's a strategy. Step 1, do a stakeholder analysis. You got to map out who everyone is and what they actually care about. Step 2, communicate the what's in it for me. Frame everything around what they get out of it. Step 3, get people together in collaborative workshops where ideas can really hash themselves out constructively. And underpinning all of this, step 4, is to build genuine rapport and trust, one conversation at a time.
Okay, on to our third major roadblock. And this is one I think many of us live and breathe every single day. It's the translation gap. We're talking about bridging that huge communication chasm between the business folks and the technical, or IT, side of the house. I mean, sometimes it really feels like they're speaking 2 completely different languages.
And you know what? In a lot of ways they are. The business side is speaking the language of user needs and business processes. They're all about the what and the why. Meanwhile, the IT side is speaking the language of technical constraints and capabilities. They're focused on the how, what's actually possible to build and maintain.
So your job is to be the bridge. You have to become bilingual. So first, tailor your communication style depending on who you're talking to. Second, use prototypes and mock-ups. Show, don't just tell. It's a universal language. Third, encourage cross-functional sessions. Get them in the same room talking to each other. And finally, gently educate both sides about the other's world. A little empathy goes a long, long way.
Okay, so as we pull all these ideas together, you can probably start to see a pattern emerging, right? These solutions aren't just about putting out fires. They're about forming a powerful, proactive toolkit that you can literally use on any project.
And this is really the core philosophy right here. It's about shifting from just reacting to problems to becoming a proactive leader. So it's about proactive planning, right? Defining that scope and analyzing stakeholders early on. It's about strategic communication, tailoring your message and asking those smart questions. It's about visual facilitation, using models and prototypes so everyone's looking at the same picture. And at the heart of it all, it's about relationship building, fostering that trust, rapport, and empathy that truly makes great work happen.
So look, every single one of these challenges is really just an opportunity for you to sharpen these skills. So as you think about the projects you're on right now, I want you to ask yourself this: which one of these tools, which single thing, are you going to pick up and put into practice first thing tomorrow?